Metalmorph archetype, known in the Japanese as metalization, originally started out as a single card owned by Bandit Keith. This card was known as Magic Metal Force. Used towards the end of the Duelist Kingdom tournament, Keith, during his duel against Joey, baited him into attacking his only non-machine monster on the field, Zoa, by pretending to accidentally drop it before he set it. Now you might ask, why would you want to bait your opponent into thinking your monster isn't a machine type monster? Well, that is because during the Duelist Kingdom tournament, ye old Yu-Gi-Oh, machine monsters had the innate ability to be immune to magic. Joey, thinking he has the advantage, powers up his Flame Swordsman with his equip magic card, Salamandra. As he attacks the face down Zoa, Keith activates his trap, Magic Metal Force, known in the Japanese as Magic Reflection Armor Metal Force. This card made it so that when a monster is attacked, it transforms it into a metallic version of itself, imbuing it with the metal monster magic immunity. Not only that, it also increases attack by 400 and its defense by 400. So Keith's Zoa became Metalzoa. Flame Swordsman's magical attack due to Salamandra is supposed to whiff. However, Magic Metal Force has another ability. As its Japanese name suggests, this trap also makes the monster it transformed able to reflect magic back. And that's not the last we see of Metalmorph in this duel. Later in the duel, Joey destroys Keith's Barrel Dragon with Time Wizard and Thousand Dragon. However, Keith reveals he has a little bit of time magic himself, as he brings it back with his Time Machine trap. After this, Joey uses his card, Copycat, to replicate Metal Force's effect in the grave. He would then use it to metalize his Red Eyes Black Dragon into Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. Thanks to this, Joey was able to destroy Keith's Barrel Dragon. And then we get another snatch and twist moment, as when Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon is destroyed, Joey brings it back using Keith's Time Machine, thanks to Grave Robber yoinking it from his grave. Thanks to this play, Joey would win the duel. So from this duel, we saw that a bunch of different cards interacted with Metalmorph in some way, shape or form, which will in fact inspire the future supports, which we'll get to in a minute. But before then, today's episode is actually sponsored by me. For the first time, I have my own proper merch. Here we have the Purple Eyes Grey Dragon, a hybrid monster between the Blue Eyes and the Red Eyes Black Dragon. Don't like having your artworks on the front? Don't you worry, because we have a simple logo design on the front, an image on the back, and it comes in purple. But you're a difficult person to please, that's not good enough for you. So how about a penultimate turn of the duel t-shirt? It says penultimate turn of the duel, final turn of the duel, GG on it. I think it's pretty cool. We've got a logo on the arm right here. You don't like that? Fine, it also comes in purple and you can get it on the back as well. We also have the sweatshirt I've been wearing today's episode. It's sponge fleece, it's super soft, I really like it. Nice logo on the front, simple, casual. And I'll tell you, if dueling your opponent isn't thirsty work, then this TGS original bottle with penultimate text is also something you might want to pick up. Check out my store now, and if you'd like to grab yourself any merch, it's available for the first time ever, so if you'd like to support the channel, feel free to. But other than that, back to the video. In the real world, Metalmorph and Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon would release together in 2007's premium pack. Now, Metalmorph on release had a unique new look, with its alternate artwork releasing 3 years later in Structure Deck Machina Mayhem. The same would happen for Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, with a new alternate artwork releasing in Legendary Collection Joey's World. Metalzoa would release later in the 2011 World Championship card pack. And unfortunately, Metalzoa didn't get an alternative artwork like the others. Poor guy. Metalmorph, known as Metalization Magic Reflection Armor in the Japanese, had the effect to target one face-up monster on the field, equip this card to that target. It gains 300 attack and defense. If it attacks, it gains attack equal to half the attack of the attacked target, during damage calculation only. This version of Metalmorph would be seen in the anime used by a character called Johnny Steps, who transformed his Musician King into Heavy Metal King by equipping it with Metalmorph. What's actually quite funny about that duel is he completely whiffs with the card as well. He doesn't read it, which I'm guilty of in the real world as well. But he assumes that the attack boosting ability of it works when he's being attacked as well, which Yugioh reminds him, no, that's not how this card works. It's only when you attack, so sucks to be you, you've lost the duel. But that begs a good question. Where did that magic reflecting ability of the original Metalmorph go? It's not on this card, so where is it? Well, it's actually here on another card called Rare Metalmorph, known in the Japanese as Rare Metallization Magic Reflection Armor. Its effects activate this card by targeting one machine type monster on the field. It gains 500 attack. Once negate a spell effect that targets that monster. When that monster leaves the field, destroy this card. So let's be honest, Rare Metalmorph, it's kind of the real world version of Magic Metal Force, more so than the other Metalmorph. In terms of Red Eye's Black Metal Dragon and Metalzoa's real world cards, I'll be honest, they're terrible cards. This is because they have no effects. Their effect is only that they cannot be normal summoned or set. They must first be special summoned from the deck by tributing Red Eye's Black Dragon or Zoa equipped with Metalmorph. And when you really think about that, you realize how terrible they are. You are giving up a monster that is only 100 attack points less, so you have a 2,700 attack point monster on the field. However, whenever you battle a monster, you're guaranteed to win that battle, and you're swapping it out for a 2,800 attack point monster. That's it. It's not great. And even worse, if you draw these monsters, they're dead in your hand. You can't summon them in any way, shape or form unless you're somehow able to put them back into the deck. It's horrible to say, but Red Eye's Metal Dragon and Metalzoa are cards that you should never ever play. And that's a shame to say because they look so cool. If only there was some way we could play them in modern day. Well, that's where the new support comes in. Fast forward 20 years, and now with the release of Rage of the Abyss, we get brand new versions of Metal Red Eyes and Metalzoa, along with a new Metalmorph, Max Metalmorph, and a whole load of support cards referencing Joey and Keith's duel. Essentially making the Metalmorph deck a hybrid deck between these two characters. It's really cool. So let's take a look at each of the cards, see what they're inspired by, and what they can do. Starting first with the central card, of course, Max Metalmorph, known in the Japanese as Metallization Enhanced Reflection Armor. This card is a retrained version of Rare Metalmorph and Metalmorph. Its effect, tribute one face-up monster, special summon one monster that cannot be normal summoned or set, and mentions Max Metalmorph from your hand, deck, or grave. Then you can equip this card to it with the following effect. The equipped monster gains 400 attack and defense. It cannot be destroyed by spell or monster effects. Also, your opponent cannot target it with monster effects or spell cards or effects. Now, Max Metalmorph is the closest we're going to get so far to Magic Reflection Force from the anime. It has a lot more spell protection than all the other cards. It's not completely immune to spells, so it's not complete magic nullification, and it also doesn't reflect stuff back, but still, it's really cool. It's a cool card. The way this card works in a Metalmorph deck is you want to tribute either a dragon monster, a fiend monster, or a warrior monster. Whichever one you summon will correspond to what you're able to summon from your deck. Tribute a dragon, summon the new boss monster, Red Eye's Black Fullmetal Dragon. Tribute a fiend, summon Metalzoa X. Tribute a warrior, summon Metal Flame Swordsman. We'll get to what those cards do in a minute. Metal Illusionist, the retrained and metallized version of Copycat. Its effect is increase this card's level by 4 during your opponent's turn only. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can set one Metalmorph trap from your deck. Then, if Max Metalmorph is in your grave, you can draw one card. You can declare one other monster type. This card becomes that type until the end of the opponent's turn. So you just heard me talk about the Max Metalmorph card. It needs to tribute certain types to summon the corresponding type from the deck. Well, Metal Illusionist, the ability to become any one of these types, that fits the bill. You can make this card whatever you need. To also summon those monsters, you need to tribute a level 5 or higher monster. But wait, this monster becomes level 5 during the opponent's turn, which not only helps complete the process of summoning out any of your metal monsters, it also is a reference to the anime because this monster was originally a level 5. And of course, the reason this card is in the archetype is because Joey used Copycat to copy the ability of Metalmorph from Keith's grave. So it's only fitting that the modern version basically lets you get Metalmorph from your deck and add it straight to your hand. Red Eye's Metal Claw Dragon, the retrained version of Red Eye's Black Dragon equipped with dragon nails. You can activate Metalmorph traps the turn they were set. You can send one face down card you control to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, and you have max Metalmorph in your field or graveyard, you can add one Metalmorph trap from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Now, Red Eye's Metalclaw Dragon is the newest card to this archetype so far. Thanks to this card's ability, you can set, say, a max Metalmorph or a card treated as max Metalmorph face down, send it to the graveyard, special summon this card, use its effect to set another max Metalmorph face down on the field, and then tribute that monster to summon Fullmetal Dragon. This monster's design is based on the original Red Eye's Black Dragon equipped with the equip spell Dragon Nails, 2 cards that Joey won off of Rex Raptor. The reason for these 2 cards being included in the archetype is because they were instrumental in the defeat of Bandit Keith. This is because, of course, Red Eyes was the monster to become Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, and Dragon Nails actually allowed it to survive when Metal Dragon got equipped with Keith's Blast Sphere. Blast Sphere would have blown Red Eye's Black Metal Dragon up, and then the difference between its attack and Keith's monster would have been dealt to the loser as damage. However, with Dragon Nails, he boosted his attack. His attack was more, so now the difference swung to Keith's side, so Keith was the one to take damage. And it's actually worth bringing up a little thing about Dragon Nails. This is actually part of the archetype. You could technically play it. What's kind of cool about it is the fact that its effect to revive the equipped monster and re-equip itself references how when Joey used Keith's time machine to revive Red Eye's Black Metal Dragon, it kept Dragon Nails attached to it. This was because it was brought back from the state it was in previously. It was equipped with a card, so it was brought back with the equipped card attached to it. Red Eye's Black Fullmetal Dragon, the retrained version of Red Eye's Black Metal Dragon. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned with max Metalmorph that was activated by tributing a level 5 or higher dragon monster. You can reveal this card in your hand, set one Metalmorph trap from your deck, and if you do, shuffle this card into your deck. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can negate the activation, then you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of one attack position monster your opponent controls. The design of this monster is based on the earlier mentioned Red Eye's Black Metal Dragon equipped with the Dragon Nails. Its artwork and stats, in fact, are taken from that moment. This monster's ability to negate a card and deal damage is most likely a reference to how Joey's usage of Dragon Nails diffused Keith's Blast Sphere bomb and reversed the damage back to Keith instead. Zoa the Fiendish Beasts, the retrained version of Zoa. If your opponent controls a monster, you can normal summon this card without tributing. If this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card in defense. Then, if Max Metalmorph is not in your graveyard, your opponent can special summon one monster from their hand. During your main phase, you can set one Metalmorph trap from your deck. Now, this monster's effect is most likely a holdover from early days Yugioh, where you could just summon high-level monsters without any cost. That's probably where this effect's ability comes in. But what about the special summoning into defense ability? Well, that probably comes from the fact when Keith dropped Zoa on the field by accident to sort of show what card he had in his hand to bait the opponent into attacking, and then he set the monster into defense. So that's probably why it summons itself into defense via its effect. When Zoa the Fiendish Beast is metalized, it becomes Metalzoa X, the retrained metal version of Metalzoa. Its effect is it cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned with max Metalmorph that was activated by tributing a level 5 or higher Fiend monster. You can reveal this card in your hand, set one Metalmorph trap from your deck, and if you do, shuffle this card into your deck. Twice per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect or spell card or effect, quick effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Metal Flame Swordsman, the retrained metal version of Flame Swordsman. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned with max Metalmorph that was activated by tributing a level 5 or higher warrior monster. You can reveal this card in your hand, add one card that mentions max Metalmorph from your deck to your hand, except Metal Flame Swordsman. And if you do, shuffle this card into the deck. Each time your opponent activates a card or effect, this card gains 300 attack and inflicts 500 damage to your opponent when that card or effect resolves. Flame Swordsman is part of this archetype since not only was it a part of the duel, but it technically did interact with Metalmorph, where unfortunately got blown up by Metalmorph. Now, this is just a theory, but the 3 metal monsters of this archetype all possess the archetypal ability to search for a Metalmorph card from the deck and add it to the hand and then shuffle themselves back into the deck. This could possibly be a reference to how Bandit Keith is a big fat cheater and would shuffle cards from his sleeve into his hand. Perhaps this shuffling the card in your hand back into the deck to get the card you want is a reference to that. Flame Coating Metalmorph. Tribute 1 face-up monster that mentions Max Metalmorph, special summon 1 monster that cannot be normal summoned or set, and mentions Max Metalmorph from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Then you can equip this card to it with the following effect. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. This card's an interesting one. It's technically not treated as a Max Metalmorph card like some of the other cards. It is also not used to specifically summon out the Flame Swordsman metal monster. You can summon any card out. The point of this one is it cheeses the monster out. You don't actually have to have a specific type on the field or a specific level. But the only problem with this card is its bestowed ability is not as good as Max Metalmorph. Incoming Machine. Add 1 monster that mentions Max Metalmorph or 1 Metalmorph trap from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If you control a Metalmorph trap, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 defense position monster your opponent controls, change it to face-up attack position. Incoming Machine is actually a reference to Stop Defense, funnily enough. This is because Keith used Stop Defense to switch Joey's Axe Raider into attack, so he could go on the offensive and deal some damage. My voice went then. Time Engine, the retrained version of Time Machine. This card is always treated as a Metalmorph card. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, target 1 of those monsters, special summon it. Then if you special summoned a level 5 or higher machine monster by this effect and have a Metalmorph trap on your field or in your grave, except this card on the field, you can apply this effect. Destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible, then you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that special summoned monster's original attack. We kind of got a running theme here. The theme of this deck is turning monsters into machines and dealing burn damage. There's a lot of burn damage cards in this deck. I guess it kind of fits with part of Joey's modern day Red Eyes cards. They're all about burn. Well, some of them are anyway. So yeah, burn is kind of the theme of this deck. Time Engine's effect is, of course, a super beefed up version of the original Time Machine's effect, which was, of course, used in the anime duel. In fact, thinking about it, how did Joey use this card? He used Grave Robber. Why isn't Grave Robber a part of this archetype, and why hasn't this card been retrained for modern day? Make this card a part of this archetype. This absolutely should be a part of it. It's so cool. I guess he did use Grave Robber in a lot of other duels, but totally make it into the deck. Which does bring up a good point. Are there any other cards that Keith or Joey used that haven't been incorporated into this archetype that they could? Barrel Dragon, Slot Machine, 7 completed, Pendulum Machine, Launcher Spider, Blast Sphere. I guess these are cards that could be incorporated, but they're already metal. So I guess you want cards that aren't metal that could be metalized, but there's no reason why they can't still be in the deck. And there's no reason why you can't metalize a metal monster anyway and make it more metal, I guess. So I don't know, I think they'd be kind of cool to incorporate in the deck in the future. And I'd be amiss to not mention a couple cards that were inspired by Red Eye's Black Metal Dragon, but aren't actually a part of this archetype, but you absolutely can play them into this deck if you want to. And these cards are Black Metal Dragon, Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon, Darkness Metal, the Dragon of Dark Steel, and Red Eye's Metal Flare Dragon. But yeah, that was the Metalmorph archetype. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. What cards would you like to see added? Want to watch me duel with Metalmorph? Well, I'm playing them for a whole month. I'm going to see how I do with them. Are they good? Are they bad? Find out here. Or if you'd rather subscribe to the channel and help us out, it would be the world to me, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But it's right there if you want to. You just got to click it, subscribe to it, and you'll be updated with all the new videos. But other than that, thank you for watching. Catch you later.